What you doing, babe?
Just going through the change.
You're so funny.
Well, I like to separate out all the quarters for the car wash.
Oh, do you really?
So I am actually going through the change.
Okay, you're just going through the change.
Yeah. But I thought maybe we can talk about
Change?
going through the change.
Uh-huh.
There's so many.
There's so many change. Yeah, that's right. When we decided that this was what we were going to talk about tonight, you were kind of like, which change?
Well, yeah, because it can go a lot of ways.
A lot of different ways. Yeah, people call menopause the change. Going through the change.
Going through the change.
That's such a weird thing. I wonder why.
The change.
I don't feel like I changed.
Me neither. I don't think you did either. I swear I don't.
You guys, he's really lovely.
Oh, okay. No, I don't think you changed.
No, I had a pretty decent time of it once I changed my makeup. I had to change my makeup to go through the change. And then, was that? No, wait a minute. No, that was well after. I guess it wasn't. I think it might have.
Yeah, you're right. I believe you. I believe you.
Yeah, actually, now that I'm thinking of it, it's kind of like, I guess that was right around that time.
Yes, it was.
Crazy.
It's so funny. And we
that's
talk
really
about
loud.
that. I got a lot of fellas in the office, and they'll mention, or the gals will mention, that things are.
Do they call it the change?
Well, they'll say
you?
things are changing, or they'll, and a lot of times we just talk about it for what it is. It's menopause.
Yeah.
But, and I'm like, yeah, I'm pretty sure why they invented the guest room. It's never for guests. It's either for you or her.
So why is it that I moved out and you didn't?
Because you're kind and courteous, and you didn't want to disturb me in my sleep, and that's.
And then I got used to just being the one that was in a different bed.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah.
I think so. Is that right? Is that the right answer? Is that the right answer? Are we good?
Well, it looks like you have a lot of car washes coming up for yourself. I thought you had the unlimited car wash at Mike's.
Oh, no, I like take the truck through the spray it yourself car wash.
Gotcha. Does it feel manly?
Yeah. Plus, I just like it.
Mm-hmm. How many quarters do you need for that beast?
You need, I always just pump in $5. It takes $3 to start it, but I pump $5 into it, knowing that that's about what it takes to get all the way around and get her, spit shined and polished. But I think people underestimate the power of change. This is a lot. When I took, there was one day I had Noble with me, our grandson, and I had couple of big glass bottles. Remember this in the laundry room? Yeah. And he was annoyed because I said, "Well, I want to take these coins to get them counted," and so one of the stops that we had to make that day was going to the bank. And he didn't think, that was not like as fun as getting ice cream or something like that.
Right.
And then I handed him one of the jugs. And I said, well, you really shouldn't complain about coming with me, because half of whatever's in here goes to you. And suddenly it was a pretty good idea to get this change counted out.
Yeah.
And I think he left with like $60.
Did he count it out, or did you guys just put it in one of those?
We went to the
where it counts it for you, right?
Right. Over at Right Pat at the credit union. And they, so he ended up making like $60 just for hauling a bottle in out of the car. And suddenly it went.
Noel's always been a change counter, though. He likes to keep track of that kind of thing.
Yeah.
But
so what other change? You said you want to talk about change. I'm all in.
Well,
Whatever you want.
There are a lot of different changes, but when we think about how difficult change is, there's a number of different reasons and some stats around it too.
Go.
Only 8% of people successfully achieve their New Year resolution.
Well, that's because resolutions are stupid.
Yeah. They just give up because they're...
Yeah, how do you expect to disappoint yourself if you don't make promises you have no intention of keeping?
Yeah. But they don't think of it that way. They're looking for a fresh start. They know something needs to change. They think they have a plan for change. But the habits...
The gym is always a fun place in January for that reason.
Right.
See all these people showing up that have good intentions. And to be fair, my hat's off to them. But by February 3rd, they're like, where are those guys?
I know. And that's very loud, babe.
Is it pretty loud?
You've got to stop that. He's got to stop that. And that doesn't have anything to do with menopause.
I understand. Please.
I think you got what you need here.
I'm going through the change.
Graham's going to have to edit the sound out. Okay, no more. Just leave it there. You don't have to put it back. Just leave it there.
Okay, all right.
We'll get it later.
I understand. Yes, ma'am.
I'm glad you didn't say something else. I thought you were going to say something. But also, just to round, nope. Our brains are wired to conserve energy, right? You know this better than anybody.
Theoretically.
So neuroscientists estimate that roughly 40 to 45% of our daily behaviors are habits. And that just means they're not conscious decisions. They're just things that we do. We don't have to think about it to do it. And if we want to make a change, we have to actively think about it before we can change it.
Okay. A pattern interrupt.
Yes, a pattern interrupt.
Okay.
And so you have to create like a pretty powerful transition into changing your habits then.
Well, I think it's fair to say too that most people don't want change. They just want better outcomes with no effort.
Yes.
Like they want to see improvement, but they're not willing to do the work.
Right.
You know, it's so funny. And again, the gym people are a fun thing because they're working hard. You know, I don't mean to discredit that. But then you get home and you look in the mirror and it looks just like it did when you left that day. You feel like your muscles are all taut and bulgy and they're not. You look in the mirror and you look just the same. And so then I might as well have more donuts.
Well, and the other thing is fear of the unknown is incredibly common.
And when you get down to the brass tacks, all fear is exactly that. It's the fear of the unknown. You know, we're anticipating things that are uncertain.
Activates many of the same brain regions associated with fear and potential threat. So that puts us on high alert, right?
Who cares? Why is that important?
Well, it's part of the uncertainty factor. You know, it's why
it
we
locks
stay
your nerve
stuck.
system into a pattern of misery. That's why.
No, it does.
Yeah,
so
that's why you lay in bed at night, not sleeping, wondering, gosh, what's going to happen now?
So think about how many people that come through the practice that hesitate to quit a job, even though they hate it.
Oh,
you know,
most.
you have so many people that are in that situation. So do I. You know, that they just need to hang on for another 12 years to get their retirement.
They're grinding and trying to pay the bills and trying to get the kids as blah blah blah, and so much of that stress revolves around the lack of willingness to change.
Right, and or they hesitate to start a business. Now, Graham and Zach are on the other side of that. They started a business, and we're all really proud of them. But that took
bagflags.com.
You can flash that.
Yeah, I was going to say.
Yeah,
sneaky little.
Let's see how many times we can say that through this episode. Yeah. Change eating habits. You know, I have a lot of people that are like, they know that they have wellness goals that they'd like to reach, whether that's weight loss goals or just resting better or having more energy or being able to think more clearly. But there are things that they love so much and they're hanging on to those same routines, that same thinking, that they can't bust free to the other side.
It's just a fear of the unknown, like you mentioned. And that transition requires an extraordinary amount of faith, an extraordinary amount of courage, you know, to start a new company or a new business and to face financial uncertainty and economic changes that you don't have control over.
Right.
And I mean, there's a million reasons to stay stuck in your stuff. And then there's other things that are changing that you'd have no control over. You know, geopolitics and the world's changing. The capacity to manage and control your future is terrifying when you think about it.
It's true. But we do want to feel healthier. We want stronger relationships. We want more peace. We want more purpose. We want more financial freedom and more energy, right? But we don't actually want to change.
No, we just want the outcome. We don't want the work. We don't
the
want
improvement
the stress.
without the changing.
Yeah, we don't want to do the things necessary. We just would love to have a different outcome.
Yeah, for sure.
Change is hard. And like I said, some of it you have control over. Some of it will be forced upon you.
Right. Well, the unknown always asks something of us, right? That we have to be more faithful. True. We have to have courage.
I think I just said that.
Oh, sorry. We have to have Trust?
I'm pretty sure I just mentioned that. Were you in the room? What a weird way to start a conversation.
So what about in your own life, though? Like, think about the times where you've had to change. When you decided that you're going to go to chiropractic school. You were very comfortable in your 5-year career as a bartender. You were making decent money.
Going through the change.
Going through the change. Yeah, I'm sure you counted change.
No, change is always terrifying. But you're right. It's trust, it's faith, it's courage. It drives your desire for a better outcome.
Yeah.
And sometimes that depends on who you surround yourself with too. People will, you indicate you want to do something bigger, better, and beyond. And the people that are around you may not fan the flames. They may be the ones who throw a bucket of cold water right on it and say, nope, you're good enough as you are.
Yeah.
Don't be an overachiever. Don't push yourself.
Do you want to share your dad's story?
No, I don't.
It's in your book. It's in our book.
That's true.
Yeah.
So I'm not exactly sure where we'll go with this whole conversation, but I think that a lot of this is just going to revolve around expectations. There was a time, and this was back when Barack Hussein Obama was the president of the United States. And whether you like that or whether you don't is not germane in this conversation. But what dawned on me is I saw a front page USA Today, and it was he and his family, allegedly, somewhere extraordinary in the world. They were in, some foreign country, and they were meeting dignitaries, and they were having this extraordinary opportunity, probably some vacation in with the business. But it dawned on me that Obama's children are having this extraordinary life experience because of who their father is. If their dad was the president of the United States, they would meet foreign dignitaries. They would probably meet celebrities in Hollywood and the music industry. They would probably see parts of the world that you and I would never probably experience because of who their father is.
Right.
And the thing that dawned on me there is that we need to remember who our father is. And if our father is the king, not the president, above the pay grade is the king, the creator. If your father's the king, the children of the king should expect the favor of the king. Their life is only unique because of who their dad is. Our life should be unique. It should be unique in so many ways because of who our father is in heaven. And our expectations for that need to match.
Right.
He doesn't bring us here to play small. He doesn't bring us here to live a subdued life under a rock.
Right.
It does require knowing who your father is. It does require knowing that his expectations of us are probably above those we set for ourselves.
It's probably true. One of the things that he whispers to me often is, Lisa, you do your part, I'll do mine.
Yeah.
And sometimes that means that I'm overstepping and he's being like, back down, woman.
Right.
Or sometimes it's like I'm acting out of fear where I can't get I can't activate that courage. Sorry.
You're busy. You're busy.
To make it work. And, I think that that's true. And, some of the toughest seasons that we've gone through, and we've gone through lots of tough seasons, but one of the parables that I love is about pruning.
Okay.
Nobody walks past, we just had BJ and his crew out at the house, and nobody walks by a freshly pruned tree and says, wow, that tree's thriving. It doesn't look like it's thriving. It's been cut down. It's got bare branches that are showing. It looks small. It doesn't look like it's thriving. But the gardener knows that it's not punishment, that it's a way to trim back so that there can be future growth.
Yeah, pruning is a way to discard things that aren't appropriate and make room for the things that will actually cause the plant to thrive.
Yeah. So sometimes they're even good things. The pruning is actual, they're thriving branches.
Yes.
So they can, when God prunes in our lives, it can feel like good things. It's like, why?
Are being taken away.
Yeah, but it's to allow
it's
better
necessary
things
for
to
growth.
grow.
And if not that, something better.
Right, exactly.
It's a fascinating thing. And I think, again, the thing that most of the time that gets in our way is when we try to drive the bus instead of letting him drive the bus.
Or think that we're supposed to remain comfortable forever.
Oh, comfort is not your friend. 10 times out of 10, comfort is not your friend.
It does feel good.
Well, or when you achieve a certain goal, celebration, I think, is important. You know, when we do things or set our mind to getting things done, I want to celebrate the outcome of that. You know, it's wonderful, but you can't coast. I mean, you can't just get comfortable and assume that nothing's going to change. The only way to coast is downhill.
Correct.
And so knowing that, you know, from a change standpoint, neutral doesn't last very long. Things are either going to go up or they're going to go down.
Right.
You know,
exactly.
flat line is not common.
No. And if you're in a hospital setting, that's the worst.
Yeah, the flat line is when they... Yeah.
But we don't question seasons in nature. You know, we expect change. Nature shows us the beauty of change just by the way the leaves on the trees.
It'd be nice, though, if you could order your seasons by design. Like, I'll take 5 springs, a couple of summers, and give me like 6 falls in a row and no winters. That'd be nice.
That'd be nice.
It's just not how the universe is wired.
Yeah.
And again, that's about knowing the organization and the design and knowing who your daddy is. Like, here's how it works. If 6,000 years of recorded history are any indication, here's what you can count on, you know? And what a genius thing. Because what comes after a long, hard winter?
Beautiful spring.
This wonderfully revitalizing season. And oftentimes when there's a challenge in your world, whether it's a loss or whether it's a career change or whether it's a financial catastrophe, there will always be winters in your life.
Winter season.
And so the reality is that you got to understand how the universe is wired. And then after a long, hard winter, where else would you put it? Like, God's a genius.
I know.
It's a perfect place to put a beautiful season where you know that things are going to be renewed. And faith is required. The question is not, will it happen? The question is, will it happen in your time or his time? And do those things match or line up?
Yeah. Another beautiful example of change, when we were down we had taken the girls on a cruise to the Caribbean for Grace's 16th birthday.
Okay.
And we went to the Cayman Islands for one of the excursions, and we went to a butterfly farm there.
Right. I remember thinking, you know what, that was on the itinerary. And I remember thinking, that's dumb. I don't want to do that.
It was so wonderful.
I'd rather stay on the ship and do whatever else, but we're going to the butterfly farm.
So, yeah, he's very good.
It was extraordinary.
Yeah. Well, it was extraordinary. But for me, what I learned was, and that I didn't know, and I don't even know why I didn't know, but that the caterpillar has to completely dissolve in the fluid in that chrysalis before it can ever become a butterfly. Like, I just assumed that caterpillar just morphed into a butterfly. Like, it just kind of, but it actually has to dissolve.
Okay.
And then it becomes
liquefy.
And it becomes a butterfly after that. And it just was astonishing to me. It's like when they say a metamorphosis, you usually think about a butterfly when you talk about a metamorphosis and that transformation that happens. But I didn't realize how destructive it is at the onset.
Sure.
You know, so that stuck with me for a very, very long time. And I still think about it today when we are going through a hard time. It's like, no, there's something good. Caterpillars are cute, you know. If we're going through a hard time, no, this might need to dissolve to become something really beautiful that God created it to be.
That's a good way to see it.
Yeah.
But that's frequent. That's in even outside of nature. Like if you know, sometimes when you're remodeling your home, you got to make a big fat mess before you get the desired outcome.
We know how that is. We're living in a big fat mess right now. Thankfully, it's outside at this moment.
But demolition is necessary, and making a mess is a necessary portion of a transformation that comes out really beautiful on the other side.
Yeah.
So, you know, being faithful about that and being fearful about that and knowing that you don't have, you don't know the outcome. You just know what the desired outcome is.
Exactly.
I think people underestimate that too. Thoughts are things.
Yeah.
Thoughts create reality. And they create transformation and they create change in your physiology, which attracts into your world, you know, things that may or may not make sense sometimes, but they are substantial.
Yeah.
And you'll notice too that if you hang around people that have a more negative oriented mindset, they will have a more negative oriented life. And if you have people, you know, this is where I'm kind of thankful for you because I could be that guy sometimes. And your mindset is usually a little less fearful and a little less, you're just more faithful sometimes than I am.
I don't think it's faithful. I just think that my nature is, I do see things through a very rainbow and butterfly lens. You know, I am probably going to find the goodness in even a bad situation.
And I can find the badness in a good situation sometimes.
So the other thing about the butterflies, I don't want to harp on that, but I learn a lot from nature.
Yeah.
And one of the things that happens, and something else that they talked about at that butterfly farm, is that you can't help the butterfly out of the chrysalis.
Right.
The butterfly has to work to get out of it because it's pumping that fluid.
Right.
But how often do we say, God, remove the struggle?
Yes.
And he's saying, I'm strengthening your wings.
Amen.
You know?
Yeah. Baby birds, same way. The mom can't open the shell. The baby's got to get out from the inside out. That's how they get strong enough to live on the outside.
Yeah.
I think humans are the only ones that goof it up. You know, like anywhere else in nature, if you took 18 years to get your young out of the nest, it would not go well.
Yeah.
And and I don't even mean that it takes 18 years to get him out of the nest. I think trying to get him out of the nest is a mistake.
Yeah, I think so
in some
too.
cases. I think we should just make our mind different about that.
Well, when you look at other cultures where they have generations under one roof for a much longer time than we do.
Yes.
Like we shouldn't be kicking them out at 18.
Just because the state says they're independent and can be doesn't mean they actually are.
Or that
they should be.
That they should be. And it's
Amen.
like being able to give them the opportunity to live with you longer gives them a leg up.
Right.
Without, unnecessary expenses in a way too. They should participate. They should be earning a wage at that point.
There should be an exchange.
Law of fair exchange has to enter into the agreement, right. But for the most part.
And we should be raising people that we don't want to kick out, that we enjoy their time and their talents and their energy.
That's a whole nother season, right?
It really is. Yeah. It's a transformative time. And then we send them to college, which I think also is like, wait a minute, hold the phone.
Yeah.
That may or may not be a good move for a lot of people. And then you'll find that a lot of them crash and burn because they don't have the life skills or they haven't had the nurturing to experience that change in a way that's positive.
Well, and so when you're talking about that, when you think about the Israelites, they wanted freedom.
Oh, we
like
want
an
out of here.
18-year-old wants freedom, right?
Like, Moses, come on.
But once they got to the wilderness, what were they begging for?
Slavery.
Take me back to Egypt. Yes.
How long are we going to wander around in this desert?
And it's not that they think that slavery was good, but it was just what they were familiar with. They didn't have to really think about or choose anything in their life. Right. It was simpler.
It's a lot of the times easy to stick with what's familiar.
Yeah.
Or you hear this, people in an abusive marriage. Well, it's easier to stay than it is to leave in their mind.
In their minds.
And again, that's about fear, and fear always is about uncertainty. And so it's a crazy thing. Change. How do we even get on this? Why are we even talking about this?
I think it's just because the world feels like it's changing very rapidly.
In a good way or not a good way? What do you mean?
I think, for me, I'm going to see things through a positive lens. And I think that it's important to always be looking at new opportunities, like what Graham and Zach are doing in their families' lives.
Right.
And being open to something new and being brave to take those steps. Looking for new opportunities in our own businesses. You made a big change this year by merging practices to create something better for your community. And
you talk about losing sleep. I didn't sleep through the night for 6 months, 6, maybe 7 months.
Yeah.
But yes, a big change in our business, in our company, in our structure. Yeah. Not necessarily in our practice or the way we practice, but in the business behind the practice.
Yeah, for sustainability and for expansion to help more people.
Perpetuate what we do and let more people have access to it and around the country, actually.
Right. And for me,
it was not an easy conversation. You were very involved. Our lawyers were very involved. Our banking people were very involved. I'm just moving it to get it out of my, because I want to just mess with it.
So the merger, but being on the other side of that has been a huge blessing for your team, for us 100%. Personally,
and we knew it would
for
be.
the chiropractic community as a whole. And I'm so grateful for that. And you and I are constantly looking for new opportunities to help and serve better, whether it's new business ideas, business models, products or services that we can introduce to make our clients' lives better.
Things that are congruent with the way we live.
Yep, alignment. Yeah. So some practical questions that people might want to consider today, if they want to. Where am I resisting change? What are you resisting that could maybe take your life to a different level or create more peace in your life, but that there's concern or fear wrapped around that? Where are you resisting a healthier lifestyle? Like, are you attached to the same meals that you eat every day and the same habits of the way you're eating? And then resisting forgiveness.
And some of this loops into a lot of the other conversations that we've had about, especially about health and well-being.
Yeah.
So you start small. You don't have to make an overhaul of it. And I think that uncertainty is always going to be a roadblock for most people. You're never going to be sure. But a little bit of common sense and a little bit of faith about making better choices and considering them prayerfully, and surrounding yourself with people who are of that same mind. They consider their changes strategically and prayerfully. You don't have to know how it's going to come out. You do have to know who holds the future. Right. You do have to know that there's a purpose and a plan. And if it's congruent, and if it's the nudging that is consistent with what your Heavenly Father is looking for, the likelihood of it going well is very high. He doesn't guarantee a smooth flight.
Correct.
You may need to have the fasten seatbelt sign on once in a while.
Pretty bumpy for us this weekend.
100%. And so the reality is he doesn't promise easy. He doesn't promise smooth. He promises goodness. And so when you're looking to make those changes, surround yourself with counsel and people who can help. Make choices that seem intelligent, but maybe not necessarily certain. You don't fly caution to the wind, but at the end of the day, you need to be able to say, this is a sound decision, and here's my desired outcome, and I'm just going to ride the tide until it comes.
Yeah. So maybe the question isn't, what if this doesn't work, right? But what if God's preparing?
I was going to say, people say that all the time. Well, what if it didn't go well?
Yeah.
Well, what if it does?
And what if it goes better?
What if it does?
He's preparing us for something better.
Right.
Isaiah 43 says, see, I am doing a new thing. Now it springs up. Do you not perceive it? I mean, he tells us.
Right in print.
His love letter.
Like, oh, by the way.
Yeah.
But it's terrifying. We feel like less than. We feel like we're not, like, who am I to be successful? Or who am I to have the things that I'm shooting for? Or who am I? Well, you're God's kid.
Yeah.
And so I think the children of the king should expect the king's favor. It's kind of that simple. Not that we're spoiled brats. It's that we should live a different life because of who our Father is.
Yeah. And live in expectation too. Yeah. Yeah. And obviously gratitude and all the other fruits of the Spirit.
It's probably not fair to expect more until you're thankful for what you have.
Absolutely. 100%.
In the smallest ways.
Yeah.
Well, there's our talk on change. I didn't know where that was going to go. I have to edit out 2/3 of it, maybe. But yeah, maybe not.
Maybe not. There might have to be a little alteration in the audio at the front side.
Well, that's because I was going through the change.
All right, you guys. Thanks for being with us today.
Like, subscribe, follow, share.
And we'll see you next week. See you later. Bye.
Where's the after party? Where are we going next?
I don't know.